Hi girls, Sally here from Bridalicious. This video is part 2 of the Inside Out transformation series, one of my favourite topics. The whole ideal of loving you actually requires you to go deep. My hope is that you didn't skip over last week's transformation task, but really took time out to look around you and within you to recognise the problems created as you live and interact with the personality ethic. That place of trying to modify behaviours and do in order to have what you want, rather than going deeper and actually looking at character and the idea of being the person that you long to be. Kind of at a heart level, so that the doing becomes more natural and of course leads to having what you wanted to have in the first place. It's an interesting concept, but hopefully you actually tried to unpack that. If you acknowledge where the personality ethic plays a role in your life, then you'll begin to realise that these are deeper problems that can't be solved at the superficial level on which you created them. You need a new, deeper level of thinking, a paradigm based on the principles of living a healthy lifestyle to actually solve these deep concerns. Kind of like the quote, it's not about losing weight, it's about losing the mindset and the lifestyle that got you there. Same sort of thing. So to have what you want in the form of your wedding dress body and a healthy marriage, you need to embrace the inside out approach. Inside out means to start first with you, even more fundamentally to start with the most inside part of you, with your paradigms, your character and your motives. For example, it says if you want to have a happy marriage, be the kind of wife who gives off positive energy and sidesteps negative energy rather than empowering it. Be patient, be kind, be generous, and be loving. If you want to have more freedom, more opportunities in your job, be a more responsible and more helpful and more contributing employee. If you want to be trusted, be trustworthy. If you want a healthy body, be committed, consistent, honest, and kind with yourself. Be honest with yourself about your current health and the consequences of living your current versus your desired lifestyle. Resolve that you will be a fit wife for life and commit your heart to living out the healthy habits required to be that person. Not just for your wedding day, but for life. You need to be that person before you can have that fit life. I hope you're getting this. It's really fundamental. The inside out approach says that private victories come before public victories, that making and keeping promises to yourself is actually more important than making and keeping promises to others. It says it's pointless to put personality ahead of character, to try and fix relationships with others before learning to be at peace and to love ourselves. So how do we practically do this, you're probably wondering? Well, the first step is through making time to complete your reflection questions. That's a really great practical way you can do so. But another specific approach that's really worked for me is actually removing the rocks. In order to wholeheartedly love you, it's so important to understand that you don't have to fix you. Your transformation will come not by adding things on, but by removing what didn't belong there in the first place. The rocks that block the authentic you from actually shining through. Sometimes transformation arises from unlearning rather than a learning process. So unlearning pride, unlearning anger, unlearning fear, unlearning resentment, and unlearning your conditioning to bring you back to your natural way of being. So often we forget that there's something perfect already within us, and we automatically look outside ourselves for something that will fix us. When we come back to accepting, loving, and taking responsibility for ourselves, all the other things begin to take care of themselves and life begins to flow and feel right. If we simply soften our heart, give up some of our old ways of being and reconnect with our values and character, our problems will actually give us up. What a better way to live than constantly striving to change, be more, better, or different. We can remove the rocks from our minds through meditation or prayer. By quietening our minds, it actually forces us to turn inwards rather than being noisy and outward focused. There's a calm and clarity that actually lives inside. Some women call it our intuition, others call it God. It's always there and it's part of our nature, but it's something that I guess our fast-paced Western world often makes us ignore or drown out. But it can be helpful to think of this light inside of us like the sun. On a cloudy day, the sun isn't gone, it's just blocked by the clouds. So meditation or prayer can actually melt away the clouds and let that sunshine of truth and self-love shine through. The reflection questions in Bridalicious Bootcamp can dig up the rocks in your mind and give you insight into your true being. To the degree you're willing to go there and see your self-destructive patterns that may have held you back in the past, is the degree to which you experience transformation. There's tremendous power in knowing what's going on within you. After all, transformation happens from the inside out. Your task this week is to try to meditate or pray for 10 minutes. Find a quiet spot where you won't be interrupted and just be. Don't do, just be. There's a lot of science behind meditation and mindfulness, which have benefits for not just you, but those around you. If you need help with meditation particularly, check out the free guided meditations at headspace.com. They have a program called Take 10, which is taking 10 minutes for 10 days. I found it really helpful. To finish with a quote by William George Jordan. Into the hands of every individual is given a marvellous power for good or evil, the silent, unconscious, unseen influence of his life. This is simply the constant radiation of what a man really is, not what he pretends to be. So go out there and show the world the real you.